Come here.
Thanks, MM.
You've brought me Journey.
I knew I could count on you.
Sziasztok, itt ez pedig a Gamehalom csatorna Swansong sorozatának 4. része. Na, lássuk, hogy hova megy tovább a történet, kapunk-e válaszokat, vagy sem. Was there anything else she wanted? What's she going to do? Mit fog csinálni?
Jay is waiting in the antechamber. She's nervous. Tell Delsin to go easy on her.
We'll see about that.
Meg se kérdezzük, hogy mi is történt
Do you
pontosan?
need me for anything else?
Not right now, but I will soon.
I have one more favor to ask of you.
All right. I'll be waiting in the next room.
A Caleb? Azt hiszem Calebnek hívják. A férfi vámpír. Na, vele szeretnék játszani. Put in her place. Ja, MM. You obeyed the prince. You could have tried to convince Journey to flee. Nem. Jó, én döntés. Meggyőzhettük volna egyébként Journey-t, hogy elmenjen. De mi helyett arra győztük meg, ha minden igaz, hogy maradjon. You were able to retrace Journey steps before you spied on conversation. Jó, menjünk tovább. Menjünk tovább. Azt lenyomva kell tartani. Caleb jön. Ő nem lesz más, mint egy veterán, ha minden igaz. Dialógus skilleken, fizikai skilleken. Legyen, ő egy veterán lesz, ha minden igaz. Megnézzük, hogy mik a képességei. Jó a retorikai képességei, jó az intimidation-je, de nincs security vagy technológiai képessége. Viszont jó a fizikai képessége. Social képessége, mentális képessége, disciple képességek, mik? Több is van. Sense of the unseen. Meg tudja találni a supernatural dolgokat, lényeket, meg amiket hátrahagynak. Mi a presence? Oké, szóval ezzel tudjuk befolyásolni a körülöttünk lévőket. Tudunk irányítani valakit, mint egy bábút. És ellenállóak vagyunk. Ellenállóak vagyunk, hogy a fizikai fájdalmat kibírjuk. Érdekes, jó lesz ez nekem. Caleb az ilyen erős alak lesz.
Delsin.
Bazori.
It seems that the Camarilla is in danger. I am at your disposal.
Olyan, mint hogy a Caleb a Vampire-ből jött volna. A Vampire játékból.
You haven't lost your touch, I hope. The code red is linked to the unification party with the chantry. No one there is answering anymore.
Mennyi volt Hartford? Ki van ott?
How many of us were there?
Probably a good 20, give or take. Dr. Dunham and our top spy, Jared Rory, were already there.
We might have lost 2 members of the Primogen. What about Hartford? Have you heard from them?
If those dogs had anything to do with what happened, I'll cut their throats myself.
Do you think they might be involved?
I don't know.
Oké. Folytasd,
It's too
nincs több
early to draw
kérdésem.
any conclusions.
Where do you want to start?
Can I count on you?
You have no reason to doubt me.
One by one, the Anseli heed the beckoning and go east. You're the eldest in the city now. Don't do this to me. Not now. I would be very grateful to you. And Fang.
How may I be of service?
Go and see Caius.
Hú, de fura a
Jonathan.
beszélgetés.
He's in charge of security. He may have learned something.
You can count on me.
You have my absolute confidence, Caleb.
Ó, nagyon olyan ez az egész beszélgetés, mint egy 10-20 évvel ezelőtti RPG játékban. Ez a... Nem tudom elmondani. Ha játszatok egy mai játékkal, mondjuk vegyünk például a Little Hope-ot, vagy a bármelyik Dark Pictures Anthology-ból bármelyik játékot, látjátok, hogy a beszélgetés ilyen egy filmszerű. Itt meg közben meg beszélgetnek, és olyan, mint hogyha nem is lennének ott egymás előtt, és úgy beszél. Volt egy kis típóz.
You little shit. I'm just following orders. You have no idea what's at stake. My most honored sire, you're wasting your time here.
I'd forgotten about your abject fawning.
I call it respect. It appears that it's something that sewer rats know nothing about. Apparently, Caius feels he's entitled to refuse to see a member of the Primogen. I won't forget it.
Na, érdekes, valamit újat tanulunk. To use dialogue power, you must activate in the selection wheel. Then select the dialogue option. Only one dialogue power may active at a time. You may activate or deactivate the power as long as no dialogue option has been selected. Szóval ki tudunk választani. Jó, nem sok képességünk van. Walls of Mind. Increase the success rate by the next skill defense die. Psychology. Success. Hát elég kevés successünk van. Oké, szóval használjuk ezt. De sok pontot el kéne használnom erre, hogy retorikai képességemmel hozzászóljak. Pedig a retorikai képességünk még erős is. Oké, csak menjünk tovább, nem is értek el.
Sorry to hear it.
Tell me, you haven't introduced me to your charming protege yet.
Zhu Feng.
Yes, Zhu Feng, a name that's as delectable as her blood, I'm sure. Ah, you're planning to introduce her to the very select club of Gala Bazori's progeny, aren't you?
Persuasion attempt. Megpróbál minket meggyőzni. LOL. Nem, mintha tudnánk kellene védekezni. Oké, akkor nem csinálunk semmit.
I hope that the prince will allow me to shortly.
I hope so for your sake. Who knows, dear Hay?
Chatterbox. Princess Quarter. By letting down his guard, Caleb has let his first childie get to him. 10%-kal csökken az intimidationünk, a megfélemlítésünk emiatt az egész miatt. Ha!
At any rate, it would be an honor for me to welcome and guide her.
Ezt a csávót annyira a helyre akarnám tenni.
Is that an order?
A word of advice.
Oh, pardon me. I fell out of the habit of receiving advice from you so long ago. Well, if you'll excuse me, I must end this ever so pleasant conversation. I need to find a way to avoid losing too much money.
Oké, engedj be.
Mr. Bazori, can I help you?
I need to see Caius.
He doesn't want anyone to bother him.
Prince's orders.
I see. He's holed up in the server room. You'll need a pass to get in. There's one on his desk.
Thank you.
Oké. Azt mondják, hogy valahol ott van neki. Live through. 10-year report on mortar evolution and environmental degradation. Pollution and environmental degradation are some of the major problems currently plaguing the planet. These scourges are caused by a variety of factors that adversely impact the basic function of the ecosystem and thus the sustainability of life, resource and mortal existence. Jó, overpopulation, production of polluting waste. Overpopulation. A vámpírok azon talán tudnak segíteni. Inspect. Education. Study document. Examine.
Blood tests from the Red Salon.
Egyelőre nem nagyon sok mindent tudunk megállapítani, ahogy nézem. Mármint hiába vagyunk a játék elején. Ortából demográfia. Hiába vagyunk a játék elején, egyelőre lenyomnak minket a pontokkal. Mint hogyha a játék közepén lennénk, és nem raktunk volna semmire se pontot.
Nobody's allowed to go in or out. I don't like the sound of that.
Hol van?
Can it wait?
Nem.
If you want to talk, go see Mr. Leto.
Ja, itt lesz bent. Itt lesz bent.
The key card must be in there.
Igen, a kártyát kerestem. Caius Leto. Itt a kártya. Nincs itt a kártya. Hack. Hát, ja, hackelni nem fogunk. Ezt viszont elvisszük magunkkal. Szegény Gélebünk, aki a legjobb kéne, hogy legyen, egyelőre semmibe se jó. Abszolút semmit nem tudtunk vele csinálni egyelőre. Na. Jó barátom.
I imagine she sent you. Finally, some good news on this shitty night.
Hogy nézel ki?
Not good. Not good at all.
The prince needs more than that. I hope you've got it.
You want details.
Can he tell me more about what happened at the party? Na, mi történt a partyn? Na, halljuk. Végre. Igen, 11-ig. 11-ig.
Miss Sellers contacted me. The Hartford Warlocks had just arrived. That's the last time we heard from any of them. Less than 20 minutes later, we received the code red, just as we were leaving to join them.
Ki küldte a vörös kódot?
Who sounded the alert?
A man named Wu.
Wu.
Ever heard of him? A retainer, one of Jason Moore's bodyguards.
Moore? The asset manager? What was he doing at the unification party?
He was supposed to answer technical questions about the financial viability of the agreement. Moore is good at hiding our kind trafficking. He's one of them, after all.
Ki szerezte meg az üzenetet? A vörös kódot ki szerezte meg?
The one who received the code red, personally.
It arrived directly here. It's authentic. I verified it.
Oké, szóval igazából ők se tudják, hogy mi történt. Csak azt tudjuk, hogy vörös kód van, és emiatt le kell zárnunk mindenkit. Okay.
Any movement with the Anarchs?
As usual, they're keeping their distance. You know it's always a pain in the ass to locate them.
Any word from Hartford?
Do you think it's them?
It would be ill-fated.
I knew we should never have trusted those damn warlocks.
Úgy látszik, nem kapunk plusz információt. Nem.
That's not good.
Nem semmi új.
Protocol, she should have been there early. If they got hit, she would have been first in line.
Oké, akkor folytasd, amit tudsz mondani meg.
One thing we haven't considered. The Crimson Oaks.
The Crimson Oaks. Ó, hallottunk róluk.
They were behind the Quincy Market attack, weren't they?
I don't have any proof. We just caught a thin blood who wanted to trap the prince, and who told us about them. Apparently they're new in town, but Mr. Rory thinks he's giving us the runaround.
Did you look into it?
I tried, but I didn't have the resources to discover anything else.
Tudjátok, mi
Leave
jutott
no
eszembe?
stone unturned.
Várjatok, azt megvárjuk, hogy folytassák a dolgokat.
Hello? You. It's about damn time.
It's about damn time.
What? You're... Hello?
Oh.
Damn it! I lost them.
Who was it?
Woo.
Mit mondott?
Shit. Now it's just ringing.
What did he say?
The
Who
party
what?
was indeed attacked. Apparently it was a real bloodbath.
Vérfürdő,
James
aha.
had just enough
Wu
time
volt az,
to get
aki
more out.
küldte a vörös
They're
kódot.
stopping by his place to pick up some sensitive documents.
And then what? Are they coming here?
I don't know. We got cut off.
Call him back. I'll inform Hazel.
Szóval az elméletem az, hogy a Swansong
This is a critical moment for us. I
az
have
csak,
summoned you here tonight.
hogy a Swansong az az tehát technikailag készen állnak, ugye, és készítik a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2-t, ugye. És a Swansong az a már meglévő technikákkal épített ilyen alaptörténet, és ameddig befejezik a Bloodlines 2-t, ugye. Remélem értitek, hogy mire gondolok. Tehát már elkészítették a karaktereket nagy eséllyel, nem tudom, hogy a Bloodlines-ban melyik karaktereket látjuk esetleg, de szerintem ugyanilyesmi képességek lesznek, ugyanilyesmi történetmesélés, csak annyi plusszal, hogy lesz egy rendes, nagyobb világ, amit bejárhatsz, amelyikben ténylegesen harcokat vívhatsz, meg ilyenek, mert ugye a Bloodlines az egy full RPG játék volt, tehát nem csak ilyen sztori mesélős.
To organize our reaction to an imminent threat.
What threat exactly? We've got no reason yet to
Cut
think...
her off again and I'll slit your throat.
Oh! Excuse me!
Careful, Hazel.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Enough! I command you to be silent and listen to me.
Oh, so that's how it is.
That's enough, Beryl.
Yes, it's come to this. You would do well to listen to your sire. We have just been attacked. This is not a time for childish displays of discontent. Caleb, the code red was sent by Wu. Go to Moore's and find out what's going on.
As you wish.
And bring Moore back to me. He was supposed to be at the party. I don't understand why he's the only one who was able to call us. I would like to speak to him very much.
Consider it done.
I trust you. He might be involved in this. So gather any documents.
Remélem jó sokat lehet játszani majd Calebba. Nem tudom, az ő stílusa tetszik eddig a legjobban. Másik kettő az elég unalmas.
To find us a new middleman in the cane business to manage our interests. I don't want to take any chances. Then I want you to talk to everyone. Somebody must have seen or heard something. Dajan, make sure all our defenses are in place.
Yes, Hazel.
You will go to the old Jefferson Library.
What's there?
That's where the Hartford Chantry calls home here. I gave them the building so they could have a base in Boston.
I demand to take her place.
Request denied.
What game are you playing, Hazel? It's a suicide mission.
It's all right. I got this. I'm not made of sugar.
She's not ready for this kind of mission. I should go with her, at the very least.
Ja, Hilda, ne.
Will remain here.
Hála az égnek.
Goes alone.
Hilda, ne nőj velünk.
Enough, Hilda. Dajan has work to do elsewhere, and I don't need to explain myself.
Hazel, if anything happens to her, I'll...
Nothing, Hilda. You'll do nothing. It's high time you learned to trust her.
Which one of us are you planning to send to the party?
She's already left.
What?
Magára partira megy viszont a Leisha.
A few hours ago, she was snoozing behind locked doors in a psych ward.
You're playing a dangerous game, Hazel. Without us, you would never have come into power.
You've chosen the worst possible moment to turn your back on us.
On the contrary, I find this moment very appropriate. I am the Prince of Boston, and you are the Primogen. I owe you nothing. Delson, escort them out. The session is adjourned. You all have your instructions.
Fogadok egyébként előbb vagy utóbb ilyen hatalom átvétel lesz. Valaki biztos megpróbálja. Azt nem tudom, hogy mi eldönthetjük-e, hogy ténylegesen melyik oldalra állunk. You could have learned more about Caius Leto investigation. You could have learned why Beryl Underwood was there. Igen, egyik se jött össze. Méghozzá amiatt már eléggé alul vagyunk táplálva pontokkal. De nem is kaptunk tapasztalatot, szóval ezután se leszünk magasabb szinten. Caleb az ilyen abszolút nulla lesz. Level selection. Választhatunk. Megyek Caleb-bel tovább. Jason Moore home-jába megyünk. A Moore-nak az embere volt az, aki, a Wu, aki... mit akarok mondani? Ezeket most így lejjebb tudjuk venni? Upgrade, cancel, cancel all, nem. Jó, hát nincs pontunk, szóval semmit nem tudunk csinálni. A Wu volt az, aki küldte a vörös kódot. Ha minden igaz, ennek akihez most megyünk, annak a kis embere.
Nice badge.
Keep an eye on the elevator. I'm gonna go wait for forensics.
Okay. Let me know when they get here.
Excuse me.
Értem, szóval így lesz ez.
Message from the sheriff. Prince asked Moore for 5 reports. If I can't bring back their author, I must bring back the reports at least. I'll know them when I see them.
Gather reports about Primogen.
That's not a good sign.
Neki, Calebnek nincs ilyen szuper látása.
Special Agent Smith.
The FBI! Finally, some backup. Lieutenant's expecting you. Straight ahead. Watch out for the bloodstains. Forensics hasn't been through here yet.
Got it.
Ó, innentől kezd beindulni a játék. Azt hittem, hogy izére megyünk. Annak a házába. De akkor ezek szerint itt is történt valami? Jó. Hiányzik a fejének egy része. Mármint nyaktól fölfele. Szóval az egész feje. Az akvárium ott a háttérben.
Lieutenant Anderson, I'm in charge of the investigation.
Special Agent Smith, FBI.
Really? Smith? Is that some kind of joke?
No, why?
Let it go. Never mind.
Hogy meggondolta magát, amit visszafordultunk.
We got a call from the caretaker around 2:15. He told us that one of his residents was brought in with an injury carried by his bodyguards. We sent a squad car that got here around 2:45.
Szóval 11:10-kor találkoztak ott a izével, ott a rendezvényen, akkor kezdődött, ha jól értem. Igen, akkor volt az utolsó üzenet, az utolsó hívás tőlük. Aztán egy 20 perc múlva megérkeztek a warlockok? Nem, akkor érkeztek meg a warlockok. 20 perc múlva érkezett a vörös kód, és most 2:45 van. Oké, hol van?
Is the caretaker still here?
He's in the living room.
Ben van a
But I don't
szobában.
think you'll be able to get anything useful out of him. Poor guy's in shock.
Ki volt az első csávó, ki ideért?
Who was the first person on the scene?
That would be Baker. He's somewhere around here. It shouldn't be hard to find him.
Okay, then what?
When they stepped inside, the guys came face to face with that.
Do we know who the victim is?
Yeah, he had his ID on him. It's the owner, a guy named
Jason Moore.
I don't know who this guy pissed off, but things didn't work out too well for him.
Did you secure all the exits and entrances to the building?
Yes, we've got men on the ground floor and in the parking garage.
How do you get to the parking garage?
You'll have to ask the caretaker. He's the one who took my men down there.
Mi van a testőrével?
We haven't found anyone yet.
Ó, igen. Oké. És mi van a családdal?
Do we know if he had a family?
Yeah, a wife and an 8-year-old daughter. The wife, Lydia Moore, 34 years old, architect, dual citizen of Costa Rica and the US, no criminal record. Yeah, we're trying to get a hold of her. The daughter, June. We've looked and she's not here either.
Okay, so senki nincs rajta kívül.
What have you got on Moore?
He was an asset manager. But if you ask me, he was involved in some shady stuff that we're sure to find out about. It's not every day that an accountant gets his head chopped off.
Igen, ez lehetséges, hogy jó.
We're still looking for the head. We're waiting on forensics for everything else, but they're busy with another case.
Egy másikkal?
What case?
You haven't heard? At one international place. They say it was a real bloodbath.
Jó, a másik hely, amiről beszél, az a
you're here to take over the case?
találkozó.
No. I'm working on something else. Moore's name popped up in one of our investigations, but I can't talk about it.
Okay, I'll let my team know.
Sense the unseen. Akkor mégiscsak van ilyen látásunk. Then sense the invisible. Now looking at another Masquerade. Aha, jó, ez a képesség az, ami megállapítja, hogy valaki supernatural, vagy sem. Illetve a nyomokat. Itt például vannak nyomok.
Moore's driver's license.
Aha. Ezt nem vagyok feltétlenül benne biztos, hogy ezt szeretném megállapítani ott. Látsz valamit itt? Observe wound carefully. Deduction. A deduction-t szeretném fejleszteni Gélebnél.
He was decapitated. It was a pretty clean cut.
Ja, igen, az látszik, hogy eléggé egy szép nyílegyenes vágás. Mit látsz itt? Boston Police. Note. Moore leaves with his bodyguard. J. Moore returns wounded with bodyguard. Refuse Adam help. Adam calls 911. Parking sees Moore car leave. Baker enters building. Question azon. Then arrives shortly. Wife on vacation with friends. Why hire them? Money laundering, household stuff. Aha. Jó. Nem, nyomjunk ide egyet. Én úgy érzem, hogy ez jó lesz nekünk, hogyha ezt itt szenseljük. Van itt egy vámpír. Valahol. Oké.
The apartment has changed since my last visit.
Itt senki sem supernatural. Ő, ha minden igazoltja, az ilyen gondnok, a ház gondnok.
Mr. Adams?
No. This can't be happening. What a nightmare. So much blood.
I've got a few questions.
I tried to help him. I told him we should call 911. I told him.
Calm him down. Ó, le tudjuk nyugtatni. Chris is succeeded by in the next skill defense style. It's not his fault. He needs to get a hold of himself. Intimidation. Nem, lenyugtatjuk, ilyen képesség. Nagyon sok vérszomba kerül, de nem baj.
Sir, listen to me. It's all right. Calm down. You're safe and you did the right thing.
I did the right thing.
I need you to answer a few questions for me.
Yes, of course. What do you want to know?
About the Moore family. Kérdezzünk a családról először. Húha, jó, oké. Menjünk szépen föntről lefele.
We weren't friends, if that's what you're asking. But we got to know each other. With time. He was a creature of habit. Since he worked late, he would often ask me for things at night. A newspaper, batteries, ice. I think he asked me for just about everything. I prided myself on always being able to get what he needed, no matter what time it was. You'd have thought he pretty much lived after dark.
Like his clients. Did Mr. Moore have many visitors?
For a man with his status, it was nothing surprising. But, well...
Yes?
His visitors mostly came in the middle of the night. I must admit, that's a little unusual.
That's what working for us is like.
He told me he had a lot of foreign clients, and he had to juggle different time zones. That's what working from home is like. He had colleagues over for late-night meetings, too.
Ha jól sejtem.
And since little June was born, not as many people came around.
That was wise.
Ha jól sejtem, akkor ő ember volt, aki a vámpiroknak dolgozott. Enemy.
Did he have any enemies that you were aware of?
No. He was a very respectable man. No bad company or anything.
Except for us.
Was he faithful?
Without any disrespect to the deceased, were you aware of any extramarital affairs he may have had?
Mr. Moore was a good
man.
He would
How
never have
dare you ask me?
disrespected his wife, or even contemplated it, I'm sure.
She could have been okay with it. There were no young women coming and going.
That's a very inappropriate question. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Teljesen jó. Megkérdeztem mindent. Oké. Jó, kérdezzünk végig mindent.
Do you know his wife?
Mrs. Moore is a model resident. She always has something nice to say to the staff. And is the first to welcome new neighbors, too. A true lady.
Was she faithful? Megdaráljuk. Legyen egy kis sikerünk.
Do you think she could have been having an affair?
She's a very respectable woman who loves her husband very much. I don't know what sick kind of world you live in.
And you would certainly not like to find out.
They had their ups and downs, just like any couple. The staff had noticed that she went to Costa Rica fairly often without her husband.
Was she thinking of leaving him?
Not at all. Just the opposite. She begged him to spend more time with her and their daughter.
Szóval jó kapcsolatban voltak. Hol van most?
Do you know where she is?
Mr. Moore told me she'd gone to their home in Costa Rica. She goes there pretty often. She's an architect, and she likes to work in her home country. She has family there.
Van ellensége?
Anyone could have been so angry with her that they could have
Gélebből alapos akarok lenni.
Oh no, I don't think so. It's true that lots of people could have been jealous of her, but not to that point.
Okay. Jó. Lányukról mit tud mondani?
Not at all. It was the start of the school year, and Mrs. Moore left 2 weeks ago. I haven't seen her since Monday, when Mr. Moore took her to school on the first day. She must be staying with a friend. Poor little thing. Thank heaven she wasn't here.
Érdekes, hogy nem tudja, hogy hol van a lány. Érdekes, hogy nem tudja, hogy hol van a lány.
Do you know his bodyguards?
Yeah, there's Jack, James, and Wu. But you won't hear me singing their praises.
Why not?
Oh, they're good at strutting around and acting tough when everything is going well. But where were they tonight? Can you tell me that?
Igen, arra én is kíváncsi lennék, hogy hol vannak.
They were paid to protect him.
Deduction. Arra biztos, hogy 2 pontot is fogunk
rakni. Do you have
any
idea where they might have gone?
No. But believe you me, if I ever see them again, I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind.
Oké, mit tudsz mondani az
Tell me
estéről?
about the evening again, please.
Ja, hogy ez ma megint, akkor feleslegesen kérdezem meg, mert igen, emlékeztem én is, hogy...
with his 3 bodyguards earlier in the evening. One of them got in the car and Mr. Moore came down around midnight.
And then?
They came back around 2 a.m. Mr. Moore was limping. He was leaning on one of his bodyguards and he was bleeding.
Was he injured?
I told him I could call an ambulance or a doctor, but he didn't answer. I went closer to insist, but Wu told me they were in control of the situation, that it was no big deal. They went upstairs and I saw drops of blood in front of the elevator. I told myself they were being unreasonable. What did those 2 goons know about it? So I called Mr. Moore on the internal line several times.
Did he pick up?
Not once. So I went upstairs and rang the doorbell, but nobody answered. So I went back down to the front desk and I called you.
Lement és visszahívta a rendőrséget, aha. Okay.
The lieutenant told me there was an access to the basement.
Yes, using the service elevator through the kitchen. You need a magnetic pass to use it. I gave the spare to your colleagues who wanted to go down there. I still have the original. Do you want it?
Please.
Ó, mindenképpen. És ennyi.
Thank you for your statement.
Ezt megbeszéltük vele.
You have to find out who did this, officer.
Nem tudom, hogy bármilyen információt is kaptunk-e tőle, vagy sem.
And for his family.
And we need to find out who's messing with us.
Ó, igen, és azt, hogy hol vannak a testőrei.
You can count on us. Stick around in case we have more questions.
És ha nektek meg tetszett ez a videó, dobjatok egy lájkot, írjátok meg a komment szekcióba, hogyha van bármi kérdésetek, illetve észrevételetek, és sziasztok!